Hello there, fellow emperors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion. Episode 95. Rome Without Roads. Still a little worried about meat shortage. Looks like even butchering all of those megasloths, we haven't actually filled this up yet. So what I might do is, for whatever hunters that are left in the map tile, to call any of the small fauna to make room. The way that RimWorld works is your map tile that you have has a certain like biosphere setting of how many animals it can support based upon its temperature and pollution and stuff like that. Mostly temperature, actually. And if you end up with a bunch of like low yield animals, if you kill them all off, you end up sort of replenishing. So if your map tile is completely full of like squirrels and rats and hares, there's not enough like food, quote unquote, biosphere room left over on your map tile to allow for larger herbivores like deer and ibex and things like that. So it can be useful to kill off all the small things to make room for larger things. It's weird how that works. It's kind of nonsensical, if you ask me, but that is how it works. So if you're ever in a situation where it's like, it's all squirrels, just have a mass squirrel execution and you'll end up with better food. Mike, I didn't bring you this time, so you go back to perishable. So I switched Mike and Mila out, I think. But that's about it. I don't have a warden. Yeah. Guess I don't. So in about half a day, we'll make it to the southern camp. And it's a bunch of impids, and then the northern camp is Neanderthals. Raider lair. Ooh, that's a really nice carving. I don't care. It's not part of the goal. So heading into our winter, the caravan outside is going to get slower, and then of course the grow season for the stuff outside will stop. So I'm going to disallow sowing for any outdoor crops. Which isn't many, it's really just this field and that field. It's fun to see what these guys are doing. Sometimes they wander. They get lots of inspirations. With the new art installed in here, what did this get up to? Still unbelievable? Trying to get past unbelievably impressive is really difficult. It just needs to be like one giant gilded building, in my experience. Or just an enormous amount of legendary art. Wondrous is no easy feat. And Wondrous is the highest tier room quality. Wondrous is at what level? I'm trying to look it up. All right. Rooms, impressiveness. $220? $240. Yeah. We're at 183. The threshold for unbelievably impressive is 170. So all of that new art that we put in has raised it from something like 170 to 183. And that's a a jade relief that's good, and a legendary sculpture. Title: A Pirate. The sculpture is an image of a stump. Okay. And a scyther, of course, yes. This work bears an image of a needle. The work has a decadence feeling and a square structure. Provocatively, a large group of planetologists appear beneath the main subject. Alright. Quite a lot of opium was smoked before making that statue. So these are the impids. Actually seems like most of them are brawlers, but of course they spray fire, so even being brawlers, that can be a problem. There was a choke point here, interestingly. So maybe we can make use of that. And I'm going to combat command. Because I don't really need work drive anymore. There's not a lot of work left to do. Just being mercenaries for the senators. That's close enough. I think this terrain really works to my advantage, because they're going to filter in slowly into the attack site. I think. No, they're kind of coming all at once. Oh, wow. Kevin, not very smart. He had free access to go mess with their ranged, and he decided not to. Alright, we have Jefestus Porto. Second to last. You, sir, are a member of the Eastern Republic Villa. Gourmet foods. Reading policy is kind of pointless because I only have 2 books. And recreation schedule. You are tough. All right. Doris only has tiny little wounds. 2 of them went down, but not dead, which is pretty unusual. Normally we just like kill everyone. But truth be told, I don't really have an interest in prisoners. In fact, we don't really have need for meat, so I'm just going to reform the caravan and start marching north. I'm going to leave the 2 bleeding out behind. It's not my problem. So, second to last senator, here is your bedroom. And we have quite the colony population, I think. Do you know how RimWorld generates these texts? Kind of like Mad Libs, where they're pieced together with like little phrases and nouns and adjectives in that way. It's more or less how it's done. Which results in some pretty silly stuff. So the payment arrived for this was 2 statues and a relief that I could put to work. So I'm just going to keep piling everything up in the triclinium. And see if we can't get, like, a hell of a triclinium as a result. I don't think I'm going to be able to push it up all the way to Wondrous, but I'm curious how high we can get it. Attempts will be made. $186. 187. So like this statue moved it up 1 point. It's like, and the other thing is, as you install more stuff, you are making the space smaller, right? So you have to start with a massive room if you don't want your spacious values to drop, because it's I mean, the total quality is a result of space, wealth, and beauty. And pushing beauty up is really, really hard, because at some point there's diminishing returns. Once it's really beautiful, getting it even more beautiful is really difficult. Space, of course, can go up to 350, I think. So this could be more spacious if I wanted it to be valued higher. But as you install stuff, it shrinks. So anything above 349.59 or 349.5 is extremely spacious, which I don't know if I have extremely spacious rooms in it. Well, that's not true. Yeah, the common room in the workshop is extremely spacious. I think that's the only room that's extremely spacious. Well, farms. But yeah, as you install stuff in there, it gets harder and harder and harder to drive that number up. But it's pretty. It is a pretty room to look at. And one of the nice things about this is anytime anyone spends any time in here, their beauty needs skyrockets. Very easy to fulfill beauty for pretty environment, and spacious environment, all that stuff. Would you have to use a lot of masterwork reliefs as walls to put it off? Really what it comes down to is like, you would need an extraordinarily large room, and then have every square foot be like a gilded. You know, if you really are trying to push it to the wondrous, yeah, you would need to add a ton of wealth to it, or a ton of beauty. So, in terms of wealth, there is a lot of room for improvement here. Right now, I'm at luxurious, which is a wealth between 10,000 and 40k, and it can get a lot more wealthy. So that's probably where I'm lowest on this scale. I'm also pretty low on the beautiful scale too. So on the wealth scale, it can go up to unbelievably luxurious, which is like 1 million wealth. But trying to get 1 million wealth in this room would mean like the floors and walls would have to be made of gold, more or less. And then in terms of beauty, right now I'm sitting at 35, but it can go up to 100. And trying to get that level of beauty would usually mean that everything is beautiful. Like there is no inch that is not beautiful, meaning that, again, gilded floors, gilded walls, stuff like that. So I'm only like 30, if you think of it this way, I'm only 35% beautiful in this room. If you think of it as a scale between 0 and 100, it obviously can go above 100. Whereas like the 24% here, I don't even know what the most beautiful rooms are. 6, 3, Pantheon is 24, yeah, I mean, 6. Beauty's a weird one, right? Like, this room isn't even beautiful. It's just, it looks pretty to us, but it's not beautiful as far as they are concerned. 15, 11, 9, 12, 7, 6, right? Like, beautiful is a really hard one to do, because it requires you to have just incredible works of art. And spacious would be the easiest one. Just needs to be a big room. So, the calculations really come down to a combination of wealth, space, and beauty. And wealth just requires an incredible amount of monetary investment into the room. Beauty requires incredibly beautiful sculptures, and then space is the easiest. But if you really want wondrously impressive rooms, you really have to design them from the onset, where they're, you know, full of gold and beautiful sculptures made by the best sculptors, the legendary level sculptors and possibly production specialists if you're really trying to go for it. I mean, it is not an easy thing to do. They are half a day away, so they're going to make it before winter, which is good. Yeah, gold tiles would be the... I mean, I could put gold tiles in here. Like, I could have, like, it slightly gilded. Probably actually don't have the gold for that. What is this, 70 per tile? And I have 1,300, so yeah. 1,300 gold. So I could put in, like, what, 15 something tiles, 18 tiles. If I wanted to. But you can see how expensive gold tiles get. Let's see. I could do, yeah, 18 tiles before running out of money. If you want to see what this does to its value, I can. I'll just put like a gilded section, or maybe gilded right around the floors. So we won't actually, well, not seeing the gold kind of defeats the purpose, right? 9, 18. That's all the gold I have. And then we'll remove it from these two tiles and do here. There. As a thought experiment, let's see how this drives the luxury of the room up. So as you can see, initially it hurts because it's driving it down because it's less floored. There's of course the granite that could be replaced with jade. I'm not going to go that far though. So you can see the luxury and beauty climbing back up. And this was more effective, I think, at adding impressiveness to the room than adding more sculptures. Because more sculptures might have increased the wealth and beauty a little bit, but decreased the space, which was a problem. Hey, don't botch. Alright, enough of that. We're killing cavemen. All the republics are united. After gaining the support of all three parts of the republic, it is now united under your rule. You have become emperor. The perk Vidi Vidi Vici has been unlocked. There is one last thing that I wanted to do before ending the stream, if you are wondering, which is to try to make a road from my colony to the rest of Rome. I mean, Rome was known for all roads connect to Rome. And for us to have New Rome, we would need a road. It's a little like goal plus, if you will. But I wish to work on it all the same. So Aside has joined. If we take a look at the perks, Vidi Vidi Vici, any pawn from any of the three republics will now be instantly recruitable if we want. Pretty nice perk. Oh, we got more gold. Still technically in a battle. Let's not forget that. And let's have these guys return home before winter sets in. I don't care about the loot. So I'm going to have them return home and then embark upon road building. And I think the quest rewards that we just got, was any of them art? I failed to look. No, no art. So yeah, we're at like 201 impressiveness. With honestly a long way to go to the 240 mark. Just gives you an idea of how tricky that can be. So once we're back home, we can start digging a road, you know, like from Lycan to the rest of Rome, moving its capital. I think at this point, because very few people have picked up on it, if we zoom out a little bit, does this look like anything to you? I mean, forgetting the fact that North Africa is missing, kind of looks like Europe. Yeah. And, I mean, Rome would have been kind of down here, right? But we're moving the capital of Rome to sort of the, yeah. Maybe we are the Visigoths. UK is missing too? I mean, it's land connected. It's there-ish. And then, like, Iceland kind of got, or Ireland got drunk and moved. That was not a dig at the drunken Irish, but maybe it was. Is road making a mod or in the base game? It is a mod. It is part of the classical vanilla expanded mod set. But there are other road making mods as well. The vanilla expanded one isn't the only one. Yeah, it's not perfectly Europe, but it's Europe-like. Well, we have another project ahead of us. Oof. Oh, is that not Dars? No, that's not Dars. Never mind. Building Stone Road. I don't know the progress levels exactly, like what drives it. Out of curiosity, I'm going to split the caravan a little bit and see if, in doing so, I can double my road progress. Obviously, they're going to need to be resupplied with food. But this is the concept of building the road. It's going to take a while. I was actually hoping that chat would have voted that for the Eastern Republic to be courted earlier, so that I could have the road prior to the end, but that just wasn't how things shook out. And after building these 2 initial roads, I think what I'll do is I'll send these guys home and then come out with like a better supplied skeleton crew. Just like duos, a bunch of duos to tackle that project quick. It's funny that it's giving me like caravan idle warnings, but it's like, they're not idle, they're very busy. Technically speaking, now that we're the emperors of Rome, we are also not necessarily beholden to our own territories, that we could do outposts, but I don't intend to. Right, I'm not going to make an outpost using the caravan, but we would be allowed. We now own this whole area. Does anyone know what the driving factors of this is? It like total pop? Because if it's total pop, I can have one massive caravan. I guess what I could do is I can have like a group of 6 and a group of 2 have a race to see if it is total pop or construction skill or something like that. So I don't think it says. Yeah, it doesn't provide any details about what drives road building speed. That's okay. We'll figure it out. So how's our food supply? Obviously corn is everywhere now. Vegetables aplenty. We did manage to get a lot of the hauling in, which I think is why corn's everywhere, because we finally hauled it to where it needs to be. And the first segment of road will be done and pretty soon. Worry is we might not have enough like jerky and pemmican to actually complete it unless we just start eating raw corn. Oh. Oh boy. Thukul's attacking. And they're like already here. They are 2 groups? I missed the message. It was a... They will prepare a while. They're preparing a while within my walls. What the hell? I think what I'm going to do is have both of these groups re-enter Lycan. Actually, I'm going to leave the one that's 72% done behind, and the other group will enter Lycan. And rallying the army to go defend against Thukul. We just became the emperors, I'm not going to let them tear us apart. There's quite a lot of enemies, though. They do definitely have a lot of numbers. Bell, your shield is the wrong color. Maxis, I might want to have you just on this scorpion turret. The other thing I could consider is to aggro them and then fall back to my gates, using the gates defenses for my advantage, which I don't think is unreasonable, given the numbers. So that's my tactic now. As you can see, the slaves are coming out to man the scorpion turrets. And I probably need to time it so that my away team doesn't return, like, mid-battle, but I don't think there's a chance that that will happen anyway. Another tactic you can use is, rather than to individually kill, if you wound a whole bunch, they tend to initiate an assault on you once a certain number of their attack team has been downed. But if you wound a whole bunch of them, you will make a whole bunch of them less combat effective, making it a lot easier to ultimately take them out. So that's something that you'll see me do every now and then, rather than to focus fire on just one, spread the damage out, because as they're bleeding out, they become less and less combat effective when it comes time for them to actually attack. And because the numbers are really not exactly stacked in my favor, this is something I could do. The other thing is I could signal for friendlies using my beacon up here, but I'm choosing not to. Like, I'm acknowledging that that would be an option, but I'd like to take care of this myself. Otherwise, I show the world that I'm an incapable defender of my own city, which I'd prefer not to be the case. I also caught Ryder in the nick of time. Don't do that, Ryder. Are they gonna... Yeah, okay, they stopped breaking. Not too worried about this fight now that I'm drawing them away. Oh, ouch. Roa, Raven, stop. Go do something else. You just shot Elba in the head. And maybe punched out... Yep, you destroyed Plastrum's kidney. Oh, Ryder and Nabla got in here. I didn't notice that. Right, because this door was never forbidden. That's my fault. Well, you lost an eye. Sorry about that, guys. I could have Ryder try to fire spew, but I think that's going to cause more problems than it's going to solve. First group is fleeing, second group is coming in. The fleeing group is probably going to destroy this door, but we'll shoot them probably well before that happens. And Ryder's getting patched up from Nabla, and then Nabla will patch up himself. Do I have the second road? I do not. 94%. There we go. You are all safe. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any gate guards out there. That would have made this a lot different, locking them out from their prepare a while at my gates. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. So, Ryder, you are fully patched up. Nobler needs medical attention, but that will happen. And then these few, we're going to have our Centurions just go murder them for their trespassing. I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest. They're like standing around, fleeing in panic, but they don't know where to go. That's pretty funny. I've never seen that before. They're like, I gotta get out of here! But then they just stand there. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 5th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Lycan.